Okay, I get it. You're here because you want to know how to learn things better and faster and be able to apply them in that manner, right? And the problem that a lot of people get is that they don't understand the thing, but their response to it is the reason why they don't learn. If something doesn't make sense to you, do not refute it. Do not deny it. Because that person clearly has something that you do not have if you are learning from them. So if you are to refute their idea, you are essentially you are essentially refuting knowledge that could be beneficial not only to you, but to the other person that needs to learn that thing as well. Okay? So it'd be like trying to become an accountant, but ignoring all the rules of accounting. Doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So to learn quickly, the first thing you need to do is to listen, right? Just shut up and listen. When someone is teaching you a concept, tune in closely to what they say, okay? Learn exactly what words are valuable and pay attention to all of those words. So basically just listen consciously, and when you figure out something that's valuable, then you start applying it in the way that makes sense to you. Now that's a different thing. What do I mean by applying it in that way? So you can apply rules in a way that makes sense to you, or you can apply rules just because you're a good little boy, right? So applying rules in a way that makes sense to you is what I call explaining to yourself. And explaining to yourself is something like telling yourself why that thing makes sense. Okay? I do this all the time when I'm like studying for quizzes and stuff. What I'll do is if they happen to have, like, if they, usually this is more in history, but like, if they happen to like give you like a practice quiz and they give you like the answers, whatever, right? What I do is I don't try to like memorize them, right? What I do is, well, I can do that, but what I can also do is I can look at it and understand, and what I do is I'll explain to myself, why does that thing make sense to me? Oh, because this, and this. Okay, that makes sense now. And now what you're doing is you're creating a match in your mind. You're creating a match. That answer to that question because this. You're giving yourself a reason why that thing makes sense. And then, test day, oh yeah, that thing makes sense because of this. Therefore, that's the answer. Boom. It's a lot quicker than trying to be like, oh yeah, that one was C, I think. Because there's only 4 letters, right? And memorizing 4 letters for 20, 50, 100 questions is not the same as understanding the reason why that thing makes sense for that question. Because that is individually one thing per question. So if you have the ability to retain that information, which you probably do, you probably disbelieve yourself, which is probably the reason why you think you can't do it, and then when you don't do it, it matches your beliefs, so switch your beliefs. Once you're able to do that thing, you will get a better result. It is not a question of if, it is when, right? When you apply the skill, when you do that thing, you will get a better result. So, you can apply this then to the real world, right? Okay, how does one make money? Okay, well, they put a lot of work into one thing and get really good at it. Why does that make sense? Because people of high skill are associated with a high need because there is a very low supply of those people. Well, okay, simple supply and demand rules, right? Yes. So, let me become better at a skill until I become one of the best at it and then make a lot of money from it. There you go. Now you just have a money-making formula. Just get good at a skill, practice it, learn how to get better, and improve over time. So then you get to that point, right? You get to the point where you actually apply these skills. You're actually a very quick learner. But then it's like, okay, now I have myself limited because I took the time to understand things in my own way, so therefore my absorption of knowledge is limited to what I can retain about my explanations to myself. Okay? So then, how do you continue learning? Well, unlearn and relearn, right? It's talked about in entrepreneurship all the time. I mean, all the time. If there is a roadblock that you have or a stagnation, what you want to do is figure out what that stagnation is, unlearn what got you to that stagnation, and learn the next thing that will allow you to raise your skills to be better, to be a more fulfilling person. Okay. So am I just going to be unlearning and relearning for the rest of my life? Yes. That is the point, because you can't learn everything. If you're coming here trying to think, oh yeah, now I can learn everything, you're wrong. You cannot learn everything. You can learn a lot, but you can't learn everything. But it's a matter of what you learn, not how much you can learn. It's not how much of a slave or a sponge you can be. It's not how much knowledge you can absorb or work you can do. It's what can you do? Oh, you can be a really good content creator? Okay, now you're making a lot of money because that thing is valuable. Oh, you're able to sell this product? Okay, well, this product's pretty valuable, so you're going to get a lot of money. It's all about trying to figure out what things are going to get you to that result and away from the fear that you have of not getting that result, right? So, keeping that in the back of our minds, we can now begin to say, what scenarios should I be learning quickly in? My answer, all of them. Now, that's pretty bland, but the reason why I say all of them is because if you're able to learn something quickly, you can unlearn it quickly, right? If it takes you 3 months to learn an instrument, it's going to take you probably around 3 months to unlearn the instrument, okay? But applying that to business, you get this. Number one, you get that you are able to unlearn and relearn things quickly if you learn how to manage your time properly, right? That's one thing you do away with. And number two is that you are able to provide something at a much higher consistency and a much higher quality if you learn how to apply the learning that it takes to make that skill better. Boom. Now, you have received a crash course on how and why to learn quickly. And hopefully you also learn how to apply this knowledge into your personal life and your work life or your business life, okay? But to send you off with a warning, I'll say, is this. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone who understands things differently from other people, what I want to say to you is this. A business problem is a personal problem reflected in your business. Okay? I have only got this many views and this many subscribers because I am not good enough. Right? It's not, oh, the algorithm, No, I'm just not making good enough videos. Simple. Okay. How do I fix that? You can control that thing. Don't try to put your problems towards things you can't control. Don't label it with, oh, that's that thing that I can't control. It must be that thing. No. Haven't put enough time in, you haven't put enough consistency in, and you haven't put enough skill in. Once you can do that, then you are capable of complaining about yourself again. But, so, I'm going to wrap it up there because that should give you a good idea of how to learn quickly. So, what I can say is thank you for watching. Like and subscribe because you're supposed to say that apparently, right? Go do the things. And as always, we're here to help you help them.